So why sell on Amazon? I think this is pretty straightforward, but I just want to reiterate why this is still an opportunity that can have a lot of potential. Because, I've heard some people say, well, Amazon selling, that was like popular in like 2015, but now we're in 2025, it's a lot different. But the truth is that 220 million people in the world have Amazon Prime. So most people have it. It is one of the largest search engines in the world, only behind, I think, Google and YouTube, is Amazon. So people buy so many products on here. They have an incredible distribution network, and almost half of e-commerce sales are done on Amazon these days. So it's something that even the biggest brands have to be on if they want to be competitive and they want to get serious volume when they are selling products. But probably the most important, or there's two important factors of why selling on Amazon can be better than just shipping out products yourself. And the first one is that you don't really need as much marketing. See, because Amazon is a search engine. And so if you can rank highly on specific search terms, like maybe it could be something like a computer mouse, right? If you can rank very well for some of those search terms, those could be $1 million search terms. And you don't have to spend as much money running ads, running Facebook ads, doing social media posts, because people will find your products organically. And that helps actually reduce your overall costs and improve your profit margins when you don't have to do as much marketing because it's on a platform already. Now, the other real benefit to Amazon is because they've built out this distribution network, they have their warehouses, you'll actually find that it can be cheaper to have your products shipped through Amazon versus if you were sending something through the mail. Sometimes if you send a package through USPS or FedEx or UPS, it might be $10 or $15, but Amazon might only charge you $4 or $5 to ship the same product because they have that distribution network. It's coming from their warehouse. They have logistics just to the next level. And so those are the reasons why I think selling on Amazon is still insanely lucrative and people are doing really well on the platform. So now let's talk about something that's very important. And I get asked this question very often is how much money do you actually need to get started selling on Amazon? So I think people overestimate how much money is required. And I've seen people make the mistake of actually, putting in $50,000 to start up their Amazon business with a product, and they spend all this money getting inventory. They put it out to market, and it turns out people just don't want the product or the bad product, and they might lose their life savings. I don't want that to happen to you. And that's why I recommend people starting rather small. And I think that realistically, you can get away with starting to sell on Amazon for maybe a couple $1,000s, sometimes even less, depending on how crafty you are. But you don't have to go out and spend $10,000 on inventory. You can run tests. And this is what I encourage people to do. This is what I've done while selling on the platform, is running tests. Maybe you can get basically a minimum viable product into Amazon, and maybe you only spend $500 or $1,000. You have 100 units of it to test the markets, to see if people like it, see if it sells, and then you can scale up from there. So the overall cost of getting started with this, for starting your own company, this is an LLC or like a C corporation, this might be a couple $100s. There is a service that I use for all of my companies when I start. They help me to start my LLCs. I'll leave it down below in the description if you want to check them out to help get that set up. And then there's also the Amazon seller fee. We'll talk more about fees later on in this video, but essentially if you want to be an Amazon seller, there's two different options, but the one that most people use is going to cost you about $40 a month to be a seller. Trademarks, we'll also talk about this later. You don't absolutely need a trademark immediately when you are starting to sell on the platform, but it is one that I would recommend at some point, and you're either gonna have to pay a lawyer to help you do this. You can try to do it yourself, but there's still gonna be filing fees for trademarks. So it's gonna be anywhere from like $500 to maybe $3,000 to get that trademark set. So you can protect your products and protect your IP. And then the initial inventory, anywhere between $1,000 and $5,000. But like I said, I really would recommend people starting small. You don't need as much money as what some people make it out to be, and say that, some people say you need $30,000 to get all this inventory. I think that's a huge mistake. I've seen people literally lose their life savings because they've just bought so much inventory and they weren't able to sell it. So all in all, startup costs, a couple $1,000s, I think is realistic for getting started on the platform.